channel, everyone. Bruno from RVing TV. Today we were going to do something a little different. We're just not going to look at any part out there. Today we wanted to take a look at the Cummins P4500i generator. Now, this generator we've actually purchased, was not given to us or loaned to us. We actually purchased this, and this is the generator we're going to use as we travel, so that if we need power because we're in a remote location, maybe we've stopped in a truck stop or a Walmart overnight, we have power that we can run our ACs, charge up our batteries, run various appliances that need a little more power, so that we're not limited. Now, I've gone with the Cummins P4500 for a couple of reasons. One, the Cummins name. In the RV industry, Cummins has been known under the brand they purchased being Onan. Onan has been in the RV industry forever, has had super reliable generators, and has been known for being the go-to generator. Now, Cummins purchased them a few years ago, and they've launched an RV or portable series of 3 different generators. The 4500 is the mid-level of that. There is a smaller, lighter weight generator, but you'd be challenged to run your AC on that. You may be able to get away with it, but not pushing very much. Now, we've gone with the P4500 for a couple of reasons. I'll give you some basics on the P4500. So the 4500 is 4500 running watts and 4500 peak watts, I apologize for misspeaking, 3700 running watts. A lot of the competing generators out there that you can get typically are 3000 running watts, 3300, 3500 peak. And the 4700 or 4500 peak and 3700 running was a key. Our Denali fifth wheel that we're using for RVing TV has the upgraded AC. So instead of being a 13,500 BTU AC, it's a 15,000 BTU. But we're also prepped for a second AC. So should we wish to put the second AC in, 45 peak watts and 3700 would allow us to run both ACs and all the other equipment that we wanted without question. Now, a few basics on this 4500. It's a little larger, little heavier, so you want to be aware of that. Beyond the 37/4500 running watts, and I'll jump into that 3745 a little later with some extra detail, we're 52 decibels. Now let's compare that to the Honda generators. They seem to be the most well-known in the industry. A Honda generator is going to be between 50 and 57 decibels of noise level when it's running. We're running here, that's probably an average. So we're right in that range with a Honda for quiet. Now, the other reason I like this is you have 3 ways of actually starting this generator. You have pull start, which I never plan to use. There's electric start, which is really the big key, but even better than that, it has remote start. So we're planning that this is going to be mounted in the bed of our pickup truck, where it's easily accessible, but still is going to be protected from weather and can be kept safe so nobody runs off with your generator, because these are a reasonable investment. But the remote start is nice because we may not need the generator all day. Okay, so I was just saying the remote start, so it's going to be in the back of our truck. What's nice is when we're camping, we may not need that generator running all the time. Because as you recall, we have dual batteries on our fifth wheel, and a number of your systems are 12 volts. So if you're cooking on propane, your fridge is running on propane, which is using a bit of your batteries, your water pump's working, and you're not watching TV, you're not running your fireplace, you're not running your AC, you don't need those, this generator won't be running. But as the evening goes on, maybe as you close a few windows because you want a little more privacy, because again, you're in that, imagine you're in that truck stop, you're in that Walmart, or you could be in a more rustic campground that doesn't have power for the site you want to be on because it backs onto a lake or a rustic view. You may not have that power, and at some point later in the evening, could be getting a little warmer, a little stuffier in the RV, you want to run your AC. Well, in my mind, the last thing you want to do late in the evening, early morning, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and you wake up and it's a little stuffy, a little hot, is get up, go outside of your fifth wheel, go push an electric start or start pulling on a cord to start your generator to get power. The remote start is a great feature because I'll be able to remote start the generator, it'll kick on, it'll provide the power I need, and I've never left the unit. So yes, some people might say that's, being a little lazy, but you want that convenience because you just never know what you're going to be experiencing. And perfect example beyond that hot, humid evening could be, what if you've been using just your battery power and it starts pouring rain? I've seen this happen. It starts pouring rain. Do you really want to go outside, get soaked to start your generator? Nope. Push a little key fob, generator starts, and you've got the power you need. This also has the 30 amp plug-in, the RV style plug-in, as well as a couple of 15 amps. So we can pull that 30 amps directly off of it, and does have an LCD display that will tell you about power output, etc. Now, one of the reasons I like these mid-size generators, and this is going to be a general rule for most generators out there, is their fuel tank is large enough to run overnight. Now, Cummins rates this generator as if it runs at 25% load, on the 3.4 gallon tank, you'll get 18 hours of run time. If you run 50% load, you'll get 15 hours of run time. So even if you're running full load, you can see you're losing a few hours at every 25% load. Even at full load, we should be able to get through the entire night. It does have a smart throttle, so it's going to throttle up or down based on the demand load that's put on it. And there's no way you're going to run this generator full load all night long. So you'll be able to fuel this up, late in the evening, late evening, let it run all night long, and not have to worry about refueling it in the middle of the night if you needed that power. So that's a great feature. Now, 3,700 watts and 4,500 watts, some people may be saying, well, which is it? 3,700 is running watts, 4,500 is peak watts. This is another reason I chose this Cummins generator, is that a lot of generators out there are 2,800 to 3,000 running watts with 3,000 to 33 or 3,600 peak watts. The peak simply indicates when you turn something like an air conditioner on. If you listen carefully, you're going to hear, when you turn your air conditioner on, you're going to hear the fans turn on first, and about 1 to 3 minutes later, the air conditioning compressor is going to kick on. And it's doing that to try to limit the peak wattage or voltage it's pulling. So 3,700 watts is the maximum number of watts this generator will support running, constant running. 4,500 will give you those peaks as you turn on the first AC, as you turn on the second AC, as your fridge kicks on to electricity, as your battery charger kicks on to charge up your batteries, when you turn the fireplace on, or a coffee maker, for example. Those are appliances that most people don't think about that really have large peaks. Turn on a heat plate on a coffee maker and see how much your usage flexes, or flip a hair dryer on that can be running 1600 watts, and you're going to hear your generator ramp up or down. That 4500 peak watts is a little larger than most generators out there, giving you that flexibility to turn those other items on, and heaven forbid you have two air conditioners kick on at the same time. You're not going to trip out a breaker on your RV or on the generator. So that just gives you a little bit of a background. A little bit larger, you know, to get it into a pickup truck, you're likely going to need two people to lift it. To move it around in the box, you can move it around one person with the straps, but I thought we would show you the unboxing after we've explained some of this. We will cut out at different times. We will prep the generator. I may or may not bring that to you depending on how boring it is on the film, and show you what it actually sounds like when it's running, and we'll bring you some other tips. When you purchase it, the box says here you're going to need a box cutter, a Phillips screwdriver, of course you're going to need some fuel. So what we're going to do, we'll put the phone off to the side, and let's get this baby unboxed. Whenever, of course, you're taking a box like this apart, you want to be really careful if you're using a box cutter to cut the tape. You don't want to go too deep into the box if you're new to this, because you just never know what might be close to the top. So, as we unbox here, first thing we're going to come across is our operator's manual, of course. So we're going to set that to the side. This is packaged up nicely, and what we are going to do in a little bit is we will need to pull this out. Now, as you open up, you've got another box in here, and let's take a look inside. We have our, I'm going to say that's our oil funnel. In here are going to be some tools to remove your spark plug if you ever need to do that. Now it does actually come with some four-stroke oil. It is a 10W30, so you don't have to run out and get oil. It's already here in your kit. And I'm going to bet this is probably the key fob, but I could be wrong. Let's take a look. We've actually got a power adapter, and I'm going to bet that's probably, that's curious. That might be for charging up our battery the first time. We'll take a look at the instructions and just confirm that for you guys. So we'll set this to the side. What I will do is just tip this a little bit so you can see she's packaged up really, really well. I'm going to get a second hand to pull this out, so we will stop the video for a few moments and we'll come back to you so that you'll be able to see the generator unboxed, and in the process we'll get some oil and fuel put in here so you'll be able to hear it run as well.